us are up on Twitter or Instagram, or, you know, we casually glance at the newspapers or watch some TV programs from time to time. So we all know that EVs are useless, right? I mean, the batteries, they have to go to landfill after 3 years. They just die out, highly polluting things. But this is my Nissan LEAF just here. I own this one, been running it for a few years now. It's nearly 6 years old and it's done 100,000 kilometers and it seems to be still working. So maybe, just maybe, the naysayers have got it wrong. So what we're going to do in today's video is we're going to take a spin out to see a friend of mine who buys and sells used EVs, because he knows a thing or two about this. He's going to tell us, how do we figure out what sort of health our battery is still at after a certain amount of distance, and hopefully he'll be able to tell me just how this little old pony is getting along. Before we hit the road though, let me just cover a couple of the basics about what this is here. A Nissan LEAF, as you know, of course, we saw that in the title, but it's a 30 kilowatt hour version. Now, back when they first launched the car just over 10 years ago, they came with 24 kilowatt hour packs. And, you know, in and around that 2015, 2016 mark, production and supply then began of the bigger format. So what I have here, it's actually an import from the UK. I brought it in when it had about 19,000 kilometers on the clock, and it's the Techna spec, as it would be called in the UK, or the SVE over here in Ireland. So the highest spec, sitting on 17-inch rims. Yeah, that's about it.
I'm Acton and the business is Next Eco Car. So we sell and source used EVs. Been doing that here in South Dublin since 2017, but we sell cars to people all over the country.
Yeah. So are you finding there's much demand for EVs now, and has that changed over the last few years? Or?
Yeah, the demand right now is very strong, and I think that's driven a lot by fuel prices obviously shooting up the last few months in particular. Yeah, we're kind of struggling to meet that demand. Obviously Brexit has had an impact on the way we run the business. We used to source everything, well, pretty much everything from the UK, whereas now there's only a certain subset of cars that are worth bringing in from the UK because of VAT and customs and so on. I think people's main concern would be around the range the vehicle will achieve, and also the battery and whether the battery is going to last. But the good news is that if you're buying an ICE car, then there are so many components that you might be concerned about, especially if a car has high mileage. I guess with an EV, there are so few moving parts that very few things actually wear out over time. So probably your main focus when buying is making sure that the car has a good service history, but then beyond that is making sure that you've got a good read on the battery health of the car and that has been properly maintained.
Yeah, great to get Simon's take on that, Derek, I reckon, because he's had so much experience with used EVs and just seeing how it works. But in particular, I found it interesting what sort of concerns he's seeing with potential customers that have coming to him asking about battery health, but then also him saying about the mechanics of an EV is so much simpler. What do you make of that?
Yeah, I agree with what he's saying there. And when somebody buys a second-hand combustion engine vehicle, they don't put it up on a rolling road and see what the horsepower was when it was launched versus what it is now. So with the electric vehicle, we're getting a lot more into the details of it, into the weeds of it. And it's great that we have the likes of this to be able to show us what's available that's out there. So definitely it's a concern of people, but the likes of these pieces of technology that can help people understand what the exact battery health is like, I'm looking forward to seeing how it actually works.
Yeah, let's join Simon then and get a little bit more information. So how can we tell what sort of state of health the battery is in before you buy a used EV?
Yeah, so there's a few different ways you can do that. On certain cars like the Nissan LEAF, they actually have a gauge on the display which shows it's a 12 bar system, so you can see, if the car has the 12 bars, then it obviously has good health. If it's less than that, then it's, you know, a sliding scale of degradation. With many other EVs, you don't have that, so you'd need to put a diagnostic tool on it. There are a few different ones out there for different cars. For example, for the Nissan LEAF, there's a tool called LEAF Spy, and you need basically an OBD2 dongle to plug in and work with that, and it's basically just reading out of the car what the car is saying its state of health is. And there are similar things for like the Renault Zoe, Can ZE, and other cars have similar tools as well. Beyond that, there are now more sophisticated devices, such as something we've been looking at for the last 6 months, which is called the Avalue battery test. And that's basically a device that you plug into the car, and it basically monitors the battery and how it's behaving over a full discharge cycle. So you fully charge the car, plug it in the device, drive it down to 10% state of charge, and then perform a full analysis. They perform a full analysis and you get a certificate telling you what the state of health of the car is.
See the different ways that you can use diagnostics to figure out battery health and stuff like that, the likes of the Avalue that we're going to be using today. I think it's really valuable that we can have these kind of kits, Derek. What do you make about what Simon said there?
Yeah, and you've got Avalue, you've got Leaf Spy, and there's plenty other ones out there, and you even have the bars if you just looked at the dash. And I know when people are buying electric vehicles, they'll ask how many bars are left, but you don't know whether it's a full bar or just about to drop off a bar. So the likes of this technology is really giving you a percentage. The data doesn't lie. What I'm really interested in, Blake, is what exactly was your percentage? And that's the only reason I'm here at the moment, watching this video this length in. So probably the viewers are too. So looking forward to seeing what is the magic number that your Leaf is currently on at 100,000 kilometers.
Look, let's not wait around then. We go join Simon and get some numbers back, huh? How's my battery getting on?
Yeah, so knowing a bit about your car and the history, so I think what you said to me was you lost your first battery health bar on the Leaf meter there at around 90,000 kilometers. You're now at about, when we ran the test, about 102,000 kilometers, so a bit of mileage has passed since then. So the general knowledge is that the Leaf will lose a bar at around 85% state of health. So when we ran the Avalue test, which is obviously a little bit of time after that, a little bit of mileage, about 12,000 kilometers beyond that, we're showing a result of 81% state of health.
So does that result surprise you for my car, and how does that compare to other Nissan Leafs out there that you're seeing?
Yeah, not particularly surprised by that result. I think what we've seen, looking at 30 kilowatt Nissan LEAF, which is what yours is that the battery state of health doesn't seem to hold up quite as well as the 24 kilowatt LEAF for some reason. Not sure exactly why that is. So it's about where I'd expect it to be for a good 100,000 kilometer car, to be fair. If I was looking at 100,000 kilometer 24 kilowatt LEAF like the one behind me here, I might expect that to be a bit higher than that, but that's not a bad result.
How do you feel that impacts range in older and used Leafs like this?
Yeah, so it was an interesting discussion, and I think when we're selling Nissan Leafs, if I'm selling a 24 kilowatt Leaf, I'll generally quote that the range will be between 100 and 120 kilometers, and on a 30 kilowatt Leaf, probably between 140 and 160 kilometers. And I know you could get more out of both of them depending on the conditions, but obviously the conditions and how you drive plays a lot into the sort of range you're getting. The state of health obviously impacts that, but I think my personal experience is that even when you see the state of health drop down to say 85 or 80%, you're not seeing like a massive impact on like the range you're getting on a day-to-day basis. It's worth being aware that that's what's happening to the battery, certainly when you're buying a Leaf and getting the best, you know, state of health that you can. But certainly my experience in speaking to other owners is that, you know, you're not seeing a massive drop-off in range over that sort of degradation level.
So what's the future hold for my Nissan Leaf? Will it make it to 200,000 kilometers?
I think it'll make it to 200,000 kilometers without any problems at all. I mean, I think, you know, I know of generation 1 Leafs which had less good batteries than this generation that did, you know, 250,000 kilometers. Quite a few of those around at this stage, so this should easily go longer than that. So aside from the battery though, there's obviously other maintenance items, but there's very little in terms of the drivetrain. Obviously, with an ICE car, you're looking at, you know, replacing the oil and the engine wearing out and things like that. On these, the motor is good for, you know, 500,000 kilometers or something like that. Obviously, you need to keep an eye on regular things, like with any car, like the brakes and the suspension and the tires would obviously be the main things I would keep an eye on, and obviously they will need to be replaced over time. But especially with the brakes, they wear out less because you use them less, because the motor helps the car slow down. So that's always a big bonus with an EV as well.
So what should I be doing to make sure that this car lasts to its 15th birthday and does, you know, 300,000 kilometers?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we always recommend to customers to get the annual health check done by Nissan. I mean, really, there aren't that many options to get it done by independents at the moment. I mean, especially when the car is still within the warranty period, it's important that you're getting that checkup done. Like with this particular car, it would have the 8-year battery warranty on it, so I'd be putting it in every year to get that checkup done. But really, those checkups don't often result in a lot of work being done, you know, beyond the regular sort of car stuff like, you know, brakes and tires and suspension, which will wear on any car anyway. There's very few things that will actually wear on the car because there aren't a lot of moving components. For example, the motor should be good for 500,000 kilometers, so you're not going to come close to that for a long time. So we're not looking at any concerns like that.
Well, that's enough talking from me, Derek. We've seen my, what my old Nissan LEAF is doing, my thoughts on it. What do you make of that now? What do you make of that result?
Yeah, really fascinating. Blake made me say that, but joking aside, it is really fascinating to understand, and especially with more and more used electric vehicles coming on the road, and people be rest assured that they can get an accurate reading. They're not relying on a garage to say it's a grand, good, clean car, and you know there's plenty of hours in it. Don't be worrying about it; it'll get you where you want to go. And so we know the data; we can do it ourselves. We're not relying on somebody else. I'm looking forward to seeing how this technology is going to progress. Looking forward to seeing more videos about your LEAF, because a lot of people, and there's a lot of LEAFs on the road here in Ireland and across in the UK and globally, over 500,000. So the LEAF especially, but we're definitely going to be doing more used electric vehicles stuff on the channel. We're going to pivot towards that. We feel that circular economy and that reusing what we currently have and the resources that we currently have is going to be a big focus. So Blake, any final words?
I find it absolutely incredible the amount of misinformation out there about EVs. It really is astonishing the lengths that some people are going to mislead the public and the general populace about EVs and how they hold up over time. So hopefully making videos like we have done today starts showing people that no, the naysayers have got it wrong, it's not right, look at how they're holding up. Now, relatively speaking, this Nissan LEAF here, my one, it's got a pretty poor battery management system compared to the new ones that are out there. So much better thermal management. I mean, the systems are just so much more complex and sophisticated at this stage. So they really, really are holding up well. And it's great to see examples like this and talk to people like Simon, someone who sees it day in, day out, how they're managing. Now, we're on a push to get to 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the time we head off on our summer holidays. So if you can give the video a like and a subscribe, we would really appreciate it. Join us on this journey talking about used EVs and that circular economy and just having a rethink about transport and the electrification of transport in this wave that we're all going through at the moment. So as I said, hopefully you've enjoyed this video. This has been EV Platform. Thank you very much for watching.